Hey everybody, it's Derek with Clash in the North here, bringing you our recap from the 5 after the bye week here. Up against Reddit Hounds, first divisional matchup of the season. We went ahead, came away with a victory. Take a look. They struggled with some of our 11 bases, took a lot of 10 hits. They had to dip 3 our 9s as well. We ended up dipping 1-9, but we got all the 10 scouted and 1-11. Just kind of wasted weight. We did struggle with one of the. We went for an 11v11 late. Did pick up two 10v10s. So we will start with that. First up, we have Larry coming in here. Tsunami account. This is a pretty weird base. It didn't have a Hound Loon CC. So we'd like kind of tried a new we tried a Suicide Hero scout on this attack coming up at the top there, but when the I believe it's a dragon and minions that came out of the sea like that. Unfortunately, a wizard here kind of pops all the wall breakers, or else this attack probably would have been much smoother. At least the kill squad would have got a lot more value, because the king gets out in front and does the tanking, so you can see he really just starts going down very quickly. Pretty much just ends up dying. The bowlers come in. They ended up hitting something, got a bunch of damage on them, so they go down pretty quick. And then this core is gutted, but not, like, they definitely wanted to get all the way to the push to get the sweepers. Just kind of clear all that out. Queen does step up, take out a couple more defenses. And you can see there that one expo had just a shot left on it. Kind of a little. If it would have gone down, the queen would have probably gotten the other sweeper. But then the Lalo is just absolutely beautiful. In comes the first hound with some loons. Second hound comes out of that CC, soaking Black Mom. You can just see 5 haste spells and the 1 freeze spell. Minions already out doing work on the cleanup, which is very, very nice. Barry is very good at town 10. Goes ahead and freezes that air defense as well as the inferno tower with only 2 hounds and 3 ADs. One of the ways he can kind of get away with that. Last hound does come down, a couple red bombs pop, but once that sweeper's gone with the haste spells, loons are able to kind of just do their thing. The nice thing is all those pups do a little bit of tanking, just the amount of time it takes to kind of clear them. These loons are able to kind of collapse onto the last air defense. Enough of them get there and take that out. You can see the minions doing work. There wasn't a ton of pups, but just enough. Everything's kind of working down and finishing up around this town hall. Obviously that wall breaker, just kind of unfortunate, had that gone and the golem stay out in front. The king lives a little bit longer and kind of helps everything else. So that would have been even a smoother 3-star, but either way, a great job from Larry here. I believe this was our second of the war. He unfortunately did not get the honor that Jaime did here. And that's being our 10th NV10 triple of the season. This was an absolutely crazy attack. Doing a Queen Walk Miner. An attack that's kind of viable on some like lower level bases. It's not something that's going to port well up into the mid Town Hall 10 and high Town Hall 10 bases. It's just something you can do at these lower ones when the Lalo is kind of a bit trickier or things don't. So this was a cleanup attempt. A 9 had, I guess this was our first one after a 9 had scouted it. Fortunately, that Tesla there, it screwed the 9 walk up, so we didn't really get to test that and see. Or else he probably ran with three rage spells, because you can see the heals doesn't end up beating. Tons of point defense on the queen here. That rage spell is barely keeping her alive. She did clear one of the other point defenses that kind of started to help. Second rage spell comes down, and fortunately with the late kind of poison on the queen, his queen is at low health already. continuing to move through, comes in with a few loons, wants to pick up that last archer tower, for that archer tower he left on the opener, and that's just going to help kind of just take care of that and get it gone. In comes more wall breakers to allow the queen to continue to charge down and go get that second inferno tower. Poison comes out once again, kind of late. So this was like definitely harping on this at the end of his attack. I had to go ahead and pop that ability. It does have that minion, absolutely crucial because it took, not only did it take 2 pups away, but it killed 2 pups. Those 2 that it took away, so that's absolutely wonderful. In come the miners, down at this first inferno tower, and then again over on the other side. They're going to kind of collapse in together to keep like a pack going to the core. King comes down, did a bunch of, another nice thing on this base, just had a lot of places he could put like an archer and clear some trash, which just obviously helps. So as that king comes in, goes ahead and sends in more wall breakers, wants to open that up and allow the king to go in and clear a bunch of point defense, and was, just do some tanking. Queen comes down, picks up that second inferno tower, and then it's really just these wizard towers that are the last threat, but the queen can get one of them. And the miners have done a nice job splitting off. It does have that one heal spell, so you can see it just really wasn't needed. That's why we said if we would have tested the walk, we probably would have and ran with it. But that's what happens on a scout sometimes. Not where they should be, or things like that are truly do them. Either way, he goes ahead, finishes off this raid. This Jamie's 5th 10v10 in as many weeks, averaging 1 a week. That's pretty good. Next up, we'll get into 9v9 action. We have Troll. Troll had a 6-pack. And doing a Queen Walk, Dragon Attack. This was a cleanup. I'm not sure. I think Superman hit it first, but I may be wrong on that. It's just a really kind of cool attack with a base, weird kind of base design. These air defenses sitting next to each other, obviously to deter the Lalo, since so many defenses would not be tanked. But he just goes ahead and kind of makes it look silly, which is always do. So in comes King with some wizards up top, the Queen walking down the bottom, clearing out some trash, which is going to help make a nice little path for the dragons to come across this base. It does have the 3 zaps and the quake spell, and this was kind of like iffy. I guess the Queen only had that 1 rage spell and her ability. Order goes ahead and drops 2 zaps and a quake, and then waits on that 3rd zap, and that was important just because in case one kind of had a lot of health left, or he happened to misplace one, he was very careful for the AD went down. At least that's what I had thought when I watched it. The more I rewatched it, the more I think he might have just forgot to drop the 3rd one. So in comes the dragons, poisoning that queen. And then as soon as she's down, there's not really a whole lot of threat. We're really waiting for let him pop with those there. That. So as this queen's walking around, you can see there's just, this attack went very, very quickly. The dragons go ahead, taking out most of the base. A lot of the point defense being on the outside means they got to engage them right away, take them out. Loons are kind of just supporting and going right to the defenses. There wasn't a whole lot of trash in the base, just a lot of trash on the outside. So once that got cleaned up, dragons were pretty much just going defense, and tanking for them. Very, very nicely done. A great plan for the base. Awesome job, Troll. Grats on your 6-pack. And next up, we have Swaggy. We had a lot of... I guess we had to use a dip, but actually one base took so many. We had a lot of people with 6-packs this week, especially at Town Hall 9, or like at Town Hall 9. Swaggy running in a monkey account here. Had 2 6-packs. Wanted to redeem himself. I can't remember if it was the bye week or the week before. The performance that was not up to his standards and his expectations. I was all excited that he'd come in and get a get a 12-pack this war, and he did it very quickly in the war. Awesome. So in come the healers doing a Queen Walk Lalo. Kind of one of his specialties. I mean, he really can do everything. Really just figuring out what the base is weakest for, and then getting it done. Drops that rage spell, keeps that queen up and going on through. He'll take care of quite a bit of point defense. Did still have like 2 on her. Definitely needed. In comes the king, backed up by a ton of wizards, helping to clear some trash, kind of support the queen. In comes the second rage spell with some wall breakers to open everything up so the queen can go in, take care of Sweeper and some CC. Nice thing with those wizards is they really helped clear the goblins in that CC very, very quickly, which helped the queen to. As the king kind of petered out, the queen still taking out tons of point defense, which is highly valuable. And then goes ahead, and the nice thing she's doing that's kind of hidden there is tanking that X-bow. And as she continues on, she kind of continues supporting that raid just that way by just tanking defenses. Just help keep your Lalo alive, helps do it. So these last real threats of this base is this wizard tower farm. 3 wizard towers and most of his loons. That could have been very big trouble, and then like a couple of red bombs. And had the guy had a couple of red bombs in that area of the base, it probably wouldn't have been a 3-star. In comes 1 more loon to try and take out an archer tower. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough. And as the loons go ahead, come down on the final defenses. The last hound pops, and that's money in the bank. And these loons up on the archer tower, plenty of steam left. There is that puzzle that's left over, but at this point, everything kind of converged into one spot on the base, so time's not an issue. Goes ahead and finishes off that corner hut, so that Troll Tesla kind of helping that. Great job, Swaggy. Awesome job with the. Next up, we'll just drop down 1 Benson. Can't remember if Benson had a 6-pack. I feel like he came just short. Sorry if you actually did. And I just messed that up. So doing another Queen Walk Dragon attack. So it was kind of cool. We saw a lot of dragon attacks this war, our side. So one of those interesting things that happen. Sometimes a lot of bases get they're built by the same kind of people, and they tend to have similar like weaknesses, flaws. So as the CC came out, just goes ahead and double poisons that, gets that all taken care of, and then at this point, it's really just getting around to that rear defense. King comes down with some bowlers in the CC that'll help clear a bunch of trash. Kind of like a high-price investment. Hey, it ended up working. Some Sams come out and really kind of hurt the dragons initially. Another really tough thing here. But they keep moving along, taking out buildings, just kind of slowly moving across the base. Goes ahead and drops a rage spell and using that king's ability to just take out the queen. As his queen did end up needing that, and kind of just wanted to make sure that queen went down. Continue to get a whole bunch of value. Now you can see it's really all defenses left. There's storage and a CC up. But that's, I mean, it's got a lot of health, but since the dragons are pretty much just able to go defense, 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 and the queen is up tanking, and there's a kill squad that is now finally beaten through that wall. That's going to just kind of be the end of the phase. Anytime, like, when you're doing these dragon attacks, if you're like, what do I want to do? You want them to not be sitting on idle buildings, like trash buildings, while defenses are hitting them. So these bases that had all the trash on the outside and very few in the middle are just kind of set up nicely for that. And these exposed ADs that just allowed a queen walk, which hella value. Go ahead and take a look at one more attack. Chris getting his second six-pack in a row. And I'm going to come in here, just do a suicide hero for the queen, and then just kind of do a big lob, which is really nice. At least a really cool attack. So he goes ahead, and the nice other things here is while doing the suicide queen, he does get, some of these extra point defense. Really kind of helps with the pathing, and finishes up there getting got a wizard tower as well, which is, and that's kind of one, like obviously you want to get the queen down. Not that I guess you don't have to get the queen down, but he was able to get the queen, which is good value, which saved a couple spell space because he didn't need to take the skeleton spells or anything like that doing a suicide hero. And the big advantage is he really set up the pathing one. So the loons kind of were going in a very predictable way. Does have those 3 haste spells, continues to haste these loons around, and I mean even fighting the sweeper with just that level 2 haste spell, it's going to be enough. They continue to just kind of collapse onto the last couple defenses, huge packs of loons, bunch of everything up. And this was a cleanup, so that kind of helps him to not break in. I believe it was a hound in the CC, which just kind of prevented it. Does have the 2 haste spells left, tons of minions, tons of pups. Gets everything taken out. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, wags. A great job, Chris. Awesome performance. Great job, everybody at NA and those who are there at Reddit Hounds. Unfortunately, I'm very shocked by your record, because you guys played us this weekend. I would expect a lot. They did have an 11 that apparently was gone or had sketchy Wi-Fi or something happened. Hope he's all right. Which kind of ended up being the difference in this war. So yeah, we got Bangladesh next week, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that when that one comes out. And until then, guys, stay frosty.